in the game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live. Peace.
Happy New Year.
I'm good. Happy New Year to you. ThaBoxingvoice.com live here with Eric Brown, trainer of Hugo Centeno. I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked him. Were you upset that Charlemagne the God was botching your fighter's name?
Oh, well, you know, it happens a lot, okay? So it is what it is. As long as he's mentioning him and he's on the show, that's all that matters. They're all going to know his name after the third.
That's exactly what I told him. I said, does he feel like people will be able to pronounce Centeno Jr. a lot better if he was able to defeat Jermall Charlo? He says he's not sure if they'll still be able to pronounce it, but what do you think he's going to have to do to defeat a Jermall Charlo?
He's going to have to do what he does best, and that's beat Hugo. I mean, Hugo is a very talented fighter. I don't know what led up to this fight happening, but I think it's a good opportunity for Hugo. And Hugo's got some talents that I don't know if Charlo's ready for. So, you know, I'm sure he's going to be in his best shape he can be in. He's going to put his best foot forward, just like we are. But you know, I think it's going to be a tough fight for both fighters. But I'm confident that Hugo's going to do very well.
Have you watched any of the tape of the common opponent that they share in Julian J. Rock Williams?
Yeah. You know. I think you know, him and Williams struggled a little bit, and you know, but I think all in all, I think Hugo will do much better against Charlo than Williams could ever do.
And I meant, did you watch Charlo's fight with Williams?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I, you know, it wasn't an easy fight. I mean, he struggled with Williams. I mean, you know, I think had that been Hugo that night, Jermall would have lost that fight.
Now, do you think his power carries? Because you obviously have some sort of experience. You had Peter Quillen at 160 for quite some time. You think Jermall's power carries up? And are we underestimating Centeno's power?
Well, I think definitely they're underestimating. People are underestimating Hugo's power. Whether or not Jermall's power will carry with him remains to be seen. I haven't seen him fight anybody that really put him to the test at middleweight yet, and I think that when he gets in there with a bona fide middleweight, we'll have to see how well he does.
And you're calling Hugo a bona fide middleweight, but he was a 154-pounder moving up. This is going to be his third or fourth fight now, right?
Yeah. You know, Hugo's naturally a much bigger guy. He was really straining and killing himself to get down to 54. It just made common sense that he had to move up when he did, because at that point it was just like there was nothing for him to gain at that weight. I mean, it was just too hard to get down there, and too little to gain from it. So we decided let's let you go into where you should be, and that was the middleweight division. You know, we'll be here for a while, and we want to get a championship at 160. And then I'm sure that at some point we'll probably move up to 68.
Now, do some trainers' style influence their fighter? And what I mean by that is, being as though you're facing Ronnie Shields, do you pretty much know how Ronnie trains his fighters? Like, for instance, Robert Garcia, people say, well, you know, he trains Abner Morris similar to how he trains Brandon Rios. With Joel Diaz, people really say he trains his fighters to come forward. Can you see someone's style, or can you see a trainer's style in a fighter?
To some degree, it depends on how long he's been with a certain fighter. You know, fighters are creatures of habits. So, you know, if you don't have a lot of time with them, there's only so much influence that you can be other than cheerleading. If you've had them for quite a while, then you have a chance to really embed some of your ideas and your style into what they do. But, you know, fighters do what they're going to do, and you have to really put in a lot of time with a fighter, and him to be an exceptional fighter, to be able to take what you give him and apply it to what he does. When the lights go on, you can get guys to do shit in the gym all day long. But when the lights get on, you find out how much they've really retained and how much they're going to go back to what they are. You know what I mean? So the longer you're with a fighter, the more chances of what you have to give him is going to sink in and become his own. That's what's got to happen. Whatever if you think you're going to teach him something new, to me, the best way to deal is to pay attention to a fighter and see what his strengths and weaknesses are, and try to work on bringing his weaknesses up to the level of his strengths, and then add, by making him more of a complete fighter, as opposed to trying to change him, because he's going to be who he is. He can't be you, and he can't be anybody else but himself. So you can give him some things to work on, help him grow in those places where he's weak, and if you're with him long enough to where you can impact him to the point where he's able to take it with him, no matter what the circumstances, then you can say you can see that. But you can't always see that.
My last question is, who do you bring to mimic or replicate a Jermall Charlo?
Well, I think that's
and
more.
I mean for sparring.
Yeah, I think that's more of a. There's a lot of guys out there that can emulate kind of what Jermall Charlo does. Maybe not as good, but but the thing is, who's Jermall Charlo going to get to emulate Hugo? Jamal, I don't think he's ever fought anybody like Hugo before.
You keep saying that. What is it about Hugo?
Hugo
act like I don't see it.
Okay, for his height and his size, Hugo is very agile. He's very crafty. He's very smart. A great boxer. He can sit down and bang and fight with you, but he can box and move and work angles, and he's very intelligent. He's not just a typical Mexican fighter like people think. People think, oh, he's a Mexican fighter, he's going to come out there and try to brawl him. Hugo's way smarter than that.
Is Jermall Charlo, in your opinion, flat-footed?
To some degree. I think he likes to stand flat-footed more often than not, and utilize his power. And that's a good or a bad thing. That can be a attribute for him, and it can be a detriment to him too, depending on who he's fighting. So, at this point and at this level of the game, we don't take anybody lightly. We have all the utmost respect for Jermall Charlo. I think he's a hell of a fighter, excellent fighter. Ronnie Shields, all the respect in the world. He's a great trainer, one of the very best out there. So, I don't take any of them cheap. Either one of them cheap. I expect the very best performance out of Jermall and out of Ronnie, and we're planning on trying to do the same.
All right, Eric. Well, thank you so much. Can't wait. March 3rd, Brooklyn, Barclays Center. We'll see who comes out on top.
Hey, gotta roll the dice.
What is up, TBV family? Yes, YouTube has been cutting funding to their channels as of late, and with net neutrality going through its process, the internet is changing. If you want to keep your favorite channel intact, coming up with tons of content, and plus get hours and hours of extra content, head over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice to become a member of the TBV family and help support the channel. Peace.
The game, 'cause see the boxing voice.